The party was supposed to be easy music low, lights warm, people laughing in small groups. It was one of those gatherings where everyone pretended to be relaxed while quietly judging each other. I stood near the drinks table, smiling, answering the same questions about work and life. She was across the room, glowing with confidence, enjoying the attention as always. She had always loved being the clever one. Her jokes were sharp, fast, and usually landed well. I admired that once. But over time, I noticed how her humor often needed an audience and sometimes a target. That night, I didn't think I would become one. Someone asked how long we had known each other, and before I could answer, she laughed and jumped in. She made a smart joke about how I was still trying to catch up to her in life. People chuckled politely, glasses clinked, and all eyes shifted toward me. The words were light, but the meaning was heavy. I felt the heat rise in my face, not from embarrassment, but from realization. This wasn't playful teasing. It was carefully chosen, polished for maximum effect. She smiled confidently, certain I would laugh it off like I always did. For a moment, I said nothing. The room buzzed with awkward energy, and the silence stretched longer than expected. I could feel her confidence wobble slightly as she waited for my reaction. I looked at her, really looked at her, and something in me settled. Then I spoke calmly, clearly, without raising my voice. I replied that it was interesting how she loved joking about people who stood quietly behind her when she needed support the most. I added that intelligence wasn't measured by who you embarrassed in public, but by who you respected when no one was watching.
The laughter died instantly. Conversations around us slowed, then stopped. A few people pretended to sip their drinks, suddenly very interested in the floor. Her smile froze, and the color drained from her face. She opened her mouth, then closed it again. For the first time, she didn't have a quick answer ready. The confident glow she carried all evening flickered, replaced by shock and something close to fear. I hadn't insulted her. I had exposed the truth. I didn't wait for her response. I simply nodded, picked up my glass, and stepped away. My heart was pounding, but I felt strangely calm. It wasn't revenge I felt. It was release. Later, people came up to me quietly, offering small smiles or gentle pats on the shoulder. No one said much, but their eyes said enough. They had seen it too. They always had. She avoided me for the rest of the night. When our paths crossed, she looked away, suddenly unsure. The woman who owned every room now seemed like a guest in her own performance. On the drive home, I replayed the moment again and again. I realized I hadn't planned the response at all. It came from a place that had been silent for too long. A place tired of shrinking to keep others comfortable. That night changed something between us. Not because of what I said, but because I finally said it. Boundaries, once spoken, are hard to erase. The party ended like any other, but for me, it marked a quiet turning point. I learned that silence can invite disrespect, and calm truth can be louder than any joke. And as for her, she never made another smart joke at my expense again. She learned, in front of everyone, that intelligence without kindness can turn pale very quickly.